Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Canton High School for Illinois High School Association Class 2A Regional Semifinal action. The Illini West Chargers and the Farmington Farmers to do battle here tonight. Farmington beat Canton last night for a chance to take on the number 2 seeded Illini West Chargers. I'm Dwayne Hulett alongside tonight. First time we've ever, I think, worked together, BJ Stone.
I think we both announced one night out at Spoon River Speedway, but very rarely did we share the mic. We just kind of moved out of each other's way, right?
Well, that location and our size does not work well in that situation.
The answer to how many guys you get in the phone booth with us is 2.
No, it's
Barely.
1, I think.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on how close you want to, how friendly you want to get, I think. So we're here for regional volleyball. Of course, football playoffs start this weekend. You'll be able to watch some IHSA football here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And you know what I didn't do for Justin?
What's that?
I didn't level the camera for him. That wasn't very nice of me, was it, after we adjusted it? I got to level the camera for you, big guy.
Dwayne's working with a bunch of newbies tonight here, folks. I have hung around Spoon River College and done a lot of PA for their volleyball program for the last several years. Haven't actually called a volleyball match. I know some of the terminology, but I'll be sitting here learning tonight, and all of you watching probably know more about this than I do. So bear with me. Now, well, Dwayne, he knows the game.
They probably know more than I do, too.
No, I bet they don't. So as we are a few minutes away, about 25 seconds towards the end of the Farmington warm-up.
So that tightens up and down. This tightens left and right. Sorry about that, folks. I am not a very good teacher. It's a learn-as-you-go kind of concept here with me.
Nothing wrong with that.
So Illini West comes into tonight, their first regional contest. You know, there's a lot of unhappy people a few miles down the road, BJ, because two teams playing tonight in the second semifinal both beat Illini West, but both ended up as lower seeds.
Always interesting when the seeding comes out, isn't it?
It
in
is.
Any sport.
It is for that, especially. Looks like I kind of thought they'd wait in between games to do a national anthem. Looks like they're going to do it right now.
All right.
But we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
And welcome back here to Canton High School. You might wonder why we step away during the national anthem, and when it's being sung, we play it every time. When it's being played, we do not, and that's because YouTube gives us a hit every time we.
Yep, that's
every
part
time
of
we play it.
Part of the beauty of dealing with YouTube.
You want me to write it? You got it?
Yep.
Okay. So we will have both games tonight. The second contest will be Tremont and Peoria Notre Dame. Paige Stevens, one of the starters. Number 2, Mariah Hayden. Number 3, Isabel Nordwall. Number 5, Elena Kiefer. Number 7 is Bella Archdale. 12, Megan Carpenter. And number 13, number 18, Claire Hanlon is the libero. Now for the very hard-hitting Illini West Chargers coming into tonight's contest is the number 2 seed. Reagan Reed will be one of their middles. Audra Carroll will be a right side hitter. Allison Hunter will be the other right side. Josie Bryan will be a setter when she's in the back row and a left side outside hitter. Number 13, Corin Robinson, will be a setter. Madeline Boyer, one of the best middles you'll see, in number 16. And the libero, a very good one, is Kaylin Farrell, the senior for Illini West. And that's how they will start their lineup, very similar to what it's been all season long for them. We've seen them a lot on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. They were at the Lady Suns Classic, and actually we just saw them last week against the Lady Suns in Southeastern as well. So know the Chargers very well. I've seen Farmington on TSSR Game Time Live quite a bit as well. They played Bushnell, they played Macomb, they played West Prairie, so they've been on quite a bit as well, BJ. But this side of the county is more what you're familiar with when you get into Fulton County, and you see these teams quite a bit. So not volleyball as much, but when basketball season comes around, you recognize a lot of these names, I bet, from basketball season. I
do. You know, the volleyball-basketball connection has always been strong. Seems to be a little bit more specialization in the last few years with less kids crossing over, but a similar necessity in volleyball, of course, particularly at this level. If you have a couple of tall players, you can be a very good team.
Yeah.
And Illini West has a lot of height.
Yeah, and you'll talk to a lot of people who say it doesn't matter how tall you are, but it's kind of like money. You know, height is like money. It's like free money, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it, but it's really nice to have the extra. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, I mean, that's one person's take on it anyway.
So how do they determine first service?
They flip for first serve, and it's a service error to start things off. And that's not how Farmington wants to start. Side out and point to the Chargers. Coming in to serve will be a freshman, Kennedy Artman. She's a defensive specialist, playing only back row at the varsity level for the Chargers. There's the first serve. It stays in. Back set, right side attack, dug by Robinson. They'll be out of system. Artman, back set to Bryan. Bryan drives it home and in. A kill for Josie Bryan, and the Chargers lead 2-0. Artman gets the service point.
Your officials this evening, up official is Tina Thomas in this first match. Joe Thompson, the down official. On the lines, Shelly Merritt on the far side of the court. Jay Shepler on the near side.
Artman's next serve is dug. It's going to be an ace for Kennedy Artman. First ace. It's 3-0 Chargers here early in this one. And IHSA Class 2A regional semifinal action from Canton, Illinois. I'm Dwayne Hulett. BJ Stone is alongside. Artman's next serve dug up. The setter for the Farmers is Elena Kiefer, excuse me. And that goes off the block and out of bounds. A side out to the Farmers, and back to serve for the Farmers going to be number 13, Izzy Lynn. Izzy is a junior middle outside hitter. She's going to come all the way near side to serve it up. Farrell goes to get it up over and almost through the basket. It's going to be bumped across by Reagan Reed. The libero, Claire Hanlon, took it. It's going to be pushed across. Bryan, tipped down, and a kill for Madeline Boyer.
She took a look before she got up in the air and saw an empty spot in the middle of that Farmington defensive lineup and dropped it right where there was no one to get it.
It's kind of the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Madeline Boyer back to serve. Now, the cool thing about Madeline Boyer, folks, here's a set right side. It's going to be bumped across. Carroll is there, outside to Josie Bryan, drives it hard off the arms of number 10, Lily Swanson, and it's a point and a kill. So Boyer gets a point. Bryan gets her second kill.
Farmington got here by defeating Canton in straight sets last night. The second match also in straight sets, Notre Dame over Peoria Manual.
That was tipped across by Reagan Reed. Robinson tracks it down, and it's going to go out of bounds as Josie Bryan couldn't get there. It's a point and a side out for the Farmers, and back to serve. Is that number 1? Madeline Hanlon? It's the only problem about being on this side. It's hard to see the numbers. There is Josie Bryan, and there is not many harder hitters in West Central Illinois than Josie Bryan. She's got her third kill for the Chargers, and she'll go back to serve now. Things don't get a whole lot easier, though. What I was going to say about Madeline Boyer, she's the tallest person on the floor. She actually sets a rotation for the Chargers as well.
Multi-talented.
She is. There's the attack by Norwal. And there is Reagan Reed, dug up by Kiefer, so they're out of system. The free ball goes across. Farrell's there. Here's Bryan setting to Reed, and she drives it home down the middle of the court. A kill for Reagan Reed, her first point for Josie Bryan, and it is 7-2, the lead for the Chargers. Bryan back to serve again. Dug up. Kiefer's there this time. Goes middle, off the block. That was on the attack. Carpenter. Now Farrell, a bump set out to White. Abby White in the game now, number 4. There's an attack by Norwal. Middle it goes to Reed, and Reed's going to get another kill off the block, and down it goes.
You'll notice if you're watching there are 2 sets of lines on the end line, one a light gold, one a very dark purple. It's dark purple all the way around for the boundaries here on the volleyball court.
And that is in. They call it in.
Now right on that line.
It was right on it. A side out kill for Isabel Norwald, her first, and back to serve. As service air, is that number 4 in to serve?
I will
Avery Neal.
Double check. I'll keep an eye on her. It was indeed.
Avery Neal, and back to serve is going to be.
That was number 1.
That was number 1. So I had it wrong last time. Couldn't see the number. I know who this is. This is Kaylin Farrell, the senior libero for the Chargers. It's a deep serve, and it's an ace.
Now, you've coached and watched a lot of volleyball, Dwayne. When they set up this court for the regionals, there's 2 volleyball courts in this gym, and it means that the basket for basketball is way off to one side, towards one side instead of in the middle. Does that make a difference? Do the kids ever play them off the rims and off the backboards?
Well, they do play them off occasionally. That's the only time that actually, usually, depends on place. There's a hitting error by Hunter. Usually, if it hits the backboard of the rim, they call it out of bounds.
Okay.
It can hit the ceiling, it can hit the rafters, but it can't hit the backboard because that's considered the wall.
Right, but in most places, those baskets will be right down the middle of the net. Here at the South Gym at Canton High, the baskets are way off to the side of the court.
Yeah,
because of the way it's situated.
They try not to use them anyway. Oh, there's a great tip by Kiefer for a kill, the first kill of the match for the Farmers, and it's 9-5 as Kiefer gets the kill.
They've got a 10-5 on the board now.
They just changed it. I don't know where I missed one at. That's a touch and a kill for Reagan Reed. It's 11-5, so we'll make it 11-5. Reagan Reed gets the kill.
I wonder if they'll check that score.
They could. I don't know. We'll see. Reed back to serve now. That means Madeline Boyer's back in the front row with White and Hunter. Back set on the attack is number 12, Megan Carpenter. Farrell, a bump set. Going to go to the aforementioned Hunter, and she's going to get the tip, a kill for Allison Hunter. Her first.
Well, good effort by Paige Stevens to try to make that dig, but the ball just died and went down quickly. 12-5 lead for the Chargers.
Middle. Punched at by Bryan, and a kill for number 13, Izzy Lynn. Back to serve the libero, number 18, Claire Hanlon. And 12-6 is the score. White, Reed, back row attack, Bryan, and well off the mark, a hitting error, and it's a point for Hanlon and the Farmers. 12-7 the score. We'll try to say it occasionally for the folks who might just be listening rather than watching as well. Boyer on the attack. It's dug up by the Farmers, a bump set. It's going to be free ball sent across by Lynn. Now Bryan, middle to Boyer, drives it home down the back line and in. Side out kill, Madeline Boyer. Her second.
Substitution for the Chargers are going to bring on number 13, Corin Robinson, back in to serve.
She'll be the setter, a sophomore. In the front row is Bella Archdale for the Farmers. Back set goes to Kiefer. Off the block and down. She abuses the block and gets the side out for the Farmers. Kiefer will go back to set. Going out, who was the setter, was Madeline Hanlon. So she'll set when Kiefer's in the front row. Kiefer will go back to setting when she's in the back row, would imagine. Also in the front row right now to hit is number 2, Mariah Hayden. Outside it goes to Bryan. Blocked and dug by Hanlon. Kiefer's going to set near side to Izzy Lynn. Dug by Farrell, outside to Bryan again. She tips that one, and that's the hardest thing with Josie Bryan. She hits the ball so hard that when she takes something off like that, BJ, it's just hard to react.
With Illini West having this kind of size, you've seen them a lot this year, Dwayne. Do they have a lot of teams that have trouble blocking them?
A lot of people get hands on the ball. They don't necessarily – so there's a difference between getting a block and getting a hand on the ball.
Right, and slowing it down.
Right. So there's a middle. Boyer on the tip, pushed back across, and a good job getting it back across by Bella Archdale. She'll get the kill and a side out for the Farmers.
Well,
so a block is a technical block that if you score a block is when it goes down off the block and you get the point. That's supposed to be the only time you get a block point and get a real block. But the block gets touches a whole lot, obviously. Right there was a touch, and that's why it's out of bounds, but it is a kill for number 7, Bella Archdale, because it was off the touch and off the block of the Chargers.
Deep service.
So the point went to Izzy Lynn. She'll leave. Checking into the back row to play defensive specialist will be Lily Watson, the defensive specialist, a junior. And back to serve again is Madeline Boyer. She wears number 16 for the Chargers. Bella Carpenter's there. Near side it comes and mishit it a little bit, but it worked out to her favor. That's Isabel Nordwall. And Nordwall gets the kill. It'll be her second kill. And a side out again. It's 15-11.
Farmington's had a couple of service errors, Dwayne, and as an underdog, that's something they cannot afford.
That is correct. That's very, very correct. Service errors when you're the underdog are not good. There's a tip across. Oh, what a job coming off the net by Nordwall to get it across and then going up and tipping it across. And a good effort was number 3, Nordwall, but she couldn't stay out of the net, and it's a side out back to the Chargers. It's 16-11. Chargers with the lead, and back to serve will be Josie Bryan. Short serve, dug up. Kiefer sets, tipped across by Carpenter. Now back row attack by Farrell. Kiefer comes to set it again. Near side, it goes to Norwald, and that's a 4 hits. Yeah, never got over the net. Hitting air for the Farmers and a timeout charge to the Farmers. Josie Bryan gets her 3rd service point. We'll take a break as well, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
And welcome back to Canton High School in Canton, Illinois. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. This is the first time I've ever been in this gym.
I was just going to say, if people are watching and are familiar with Canton's famous Ingersoll gym where they play basketball, this has been the volleyball and wrestling gym for several years. The girls and boys basketball teams both play at what they call the Alice.
Josie Bryan on to serve. There's a block by Reagan Reed. Hit across and down. The kill by Mariah Hayden, her first.
Sometimes the net's your best friend, right?
Oh, yeah. Let serves. Don't even get me started on that. Anybody who watches probably gets tired of me complaining about net serves. Or let serves, as they're technically called. Reagan Reed tips it across, and then it's pushed back across. Carroll has to go track that down. Not a good step, but sometimes the out-of-system things work just as well, if not better. A side out, as going back to serve will be Kaylin Farrell. For the Chargers, Carroll takes a seat. Artman leaves. Dug up. Back into sets Hanlon. Dug by Boyer. Bryan, middle to Reed. Down and in for a kill.
That is one of the first successful middle attacks, I think, for Illini West. The 2 middle blockers for Farmington have been doing a pretty good job of containing them, but on the outside is where Illini West has been scoring all their points until then.
Farrell gets the service point. Her second. Back set this time. Norwald. Farrell with a one-arm dig, but Hunter can't dig it out of the net. And a side out as Norwald gets the kill. Isabel Nordwald gets her third.
Izzy Lynn back in for the Farmers, and the serve almost hit her in the back of the head.
Norwald with the service error. Side out, 20-13 the score now.
That's 3 points given away on service error.
Yeah, that's a tough way to beat a team that's feels like they're better than you. You have to take care of your own business before you can worry about theirs. And there's an ace. And in an ace for Josie Bryan. No, Reagan Reed, serving up now.
Well, calculated risk by the defender for Farmington to let that one hit and hope for it to be outside, and it just snuck inside the line.
Haven't been a whole lot of aces here so far. I think I might have missed one or two, but
double hit.
Yeah, they call it a lift.
A lift.
And it was number 13, Izzy Lynn, who gets called for it. But, you don't, in all honesty, you almost never see that called anymore. Checking in is number 17, who I don't have on my roster.
So the lift is just one of those things like carrying the ball in basketball. It's just kind of gone away. They don't call it, huh?
Well, no, they call it, but technically on serve receive. Oh, what a job by Kiefer to get that over with one arm. Madeline Boyer drives it home now for the kill. Madeline Boyer gets the kill. Her third, and Reagan Reed gets another service point. Her third. Now, technically, they've pretty much let everything go on serve receive. As long as you can get it up in the air, an overpass, you're pretty much allowed to do it. Back set, Hunter on the attack, and she gets it blocked by the aforementioned number 17 and number 12, Megan Carpenter, and it is a kill for Hunter. Reed gets the point, and it's set point. Kiefer on the attack, off of Reed. It bounces around. Bryan goes to get it. Boyer sends it across. It stays in. Hanlon is there of the libero variety. Farrell now. Hunter going to try and get the kill. It's dug up. What a job to get there. An even better job to throw it up, but it's going to be out of bounds. Good hustle for the Farmers, but it's going to fall, unfortunately, on the floor on the wrong side of the net. And set number one is going to come to a conclusion with the Chargers winning 25-13. So we'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time, live presented by MDH. We'll be back in just a few minutes with set number two.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. a short little office procedure and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the
And welcome back. Set number 2, as you can see, set 1 went 25-13 to the Chargers. So we'll set that off to the Chargers, set the score at 0, and here we go. Back to serve is Corin Robinson, who we never really said her name a whole lot. There's the set by Hanlon. Over Sats and to the wrong side, and Josie Bryan says, thank you very much. I'll take that. She gets the kill.
She was able to get up, get over the net, and not ever contact the net. Pretty impressive.
And an ace for Corin Robinson.
A sinking serve. Farmington libero made a diving effort, but that was kind of knuckleballing on her a little bit.
Yeah, they call that a floater, and you can't ever tell where it's going to go. There's a nice attack, and out of bounds, the kill for Bella Archdale.
So floater instead of knuckleball.
Yes, pretty much.
Got it. I'm taking notes on all this stuff. Floater.
It just floats. It literally just floats through the air, kind of like a knuckleball does. You're exactly right. Except they don't hit it with their knuckles. They hit it with their palm.
You don't throw a knuckleball with your knuckles either, though.
What do you throw it with?
Fingertip. That's why all the knuckleballers use a nail file to keep their nails filed down just right. Or filed strong and long so they can dig into the ball. Great hit.
Josie Bryan with another kill. And a side out, 3-1. Josie Bryan up to 7 total kills now. And coming back into serves, Kennedy Artman. She's got 2 service points. There's a nice dig by Robinson. Artman. Bryan sends that one across. Kiefer sets middle. Push back, dug by Robinson. That was Archdale on the attack, and then a hitting error. A side out back to the Farmers, and back to serve is going to be number 13, Izzy Lynn.
So I'm going to ask you the questions that hopefully the fans are asking. My next one is they did not switch sides like in college. Is that something new?
That's since COVID, actually.
Thought it might be.
Tipped across by Boyer. Pushed across, then blocked back by Boyer. Dug up. They'll have to get it across this time. They do. Carroll's there. Now Bryan drives it into the net. Another hitting error. And Izzy Lynn is going to get the service point.
Bryan's timing is just a little bit off in the last 2 hits, and once that gets corrected, I fear for the other side.
Bryan, Reed, Bryan, tip, kill. 8 kills for her, and now Madeline Boyer goes back to serve for the Chargers. They lead 4-3. Boyer's serve. Kiefer bump set. Punched across by Norwald. Now it's going to be Carroll on the attack and the kill. Audra Carroll gets her first kill. Madeline Boyer gets her second service point. She had an ace earlier, actually. I forgot to mark down.
Tremont and Peoria Notre Dame coming up next.
Kiefer, back row attack coming from the libero, Claire Hanlon. At the net, a jousting match is won by the Chargers, and they're going to call a double hit on number 10, Lily Swanson, and a point for Boyer and the Chargers. Boyer's third service point to go along with her 3 kills thus far. Her team leads 6-3. That's about 5 feet too long, a service error, and it's 6-4. Going back to serve will be number 7. That's where we screwed up earlier. Number 7 is Bella Archdale serving for the Farmers. Her serve short. Reed was there. Or Carroll, was there. Off the block, off Kiefer's arm and down. Josie Bryan gets the kill. Her 9th, and she'll go back to serve. Josie Bryan's attack on the serve is an ace. 4 points, first ace. Eight to 4 the score, and timeout charged to the Farmers. And we'll stay here for this one. And BJ, sport's always a huge thing. throughout the season, regular season, but postseason just always has a different feel to it, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and you get to the point at this time of year, you've got high school football and volleyball both into their postseason, soccer in the fall for boys. Is boys or girls? It's boys in the fall and girls in the spring.
Correct, yep.
And at the next level, you've got all of your sports getting ready to get into their end of their season for football. At the college level, a lot of the volleyball tournaments are about to start. And then, of course, in the pros, baseball's still going on. So through all of this, you still have one summer sport in the middle of their playoffs.
Right.
October is a great month when it comes to sports.
Baseball is the longest season, although I think hockey is actually longer than baseball, isn't it?
In total days, it may be hockey now anymore.
Josie Bryan back to serve again after the ace, and that's going to be long, a service there out of the timeout.
And also, if you really wanted to go worldwide, I think soccer, those guys don't seem to take any time off, and the next season's already ready to start.
Well, they play this league, and then that league plays at a different time, and another league plays at a different. Abby White, trouble with that one, an ace for number 1, Madeline Hanlon.
Farmington trying to hang in here, get the lead, force a third set.
Abby White with the dig there. And Reagan Reed shows how hard she can hit there, BJ. You want to stand in front of that one time?
No, I do not. And I was just going to say, you stay in against this team, and the longer you stay in, it seems like the harder they're going to want to hit it at you.
Reagan Reed gets the kill. Back to serve the libero, number 3, Kaylin Farrell. Reagan Reed, folks, just a junior. Madeline Boyer, just a junior. A lot of good talent coming back. Josie Bryan, however, is a senior. Allison Hunter with the attack there. Tipped across by Nordwall, and Nordwall is going to get the kill. Her 4th. She's having a pretty decent game against the Chargers. It's 9-7.
And as we talked about earlier with the crossover sports, the Reeds are also outstanding basketball players. So is Josie Bryan.
That is correct, and so is Madeline Boyer. Oh, and down the line. Reed tried to take a little off and go down the line with it, and it rolled down and onto the wrong side if you're a Chargers fan. Back row attack, Josie Bryan tipped across. Quick middle, Reed dug on the far side. And there is Reed again, finally getting a kill off the block, her 6th kill, and a side out back to the Chargers. They lead by just 2, 10-8. Coming into the game for the Farmers is number 8, Paige Stevens. Or is that number? Couldn't see the number. It is number 8, Paige Stevens. Kiefer, dug by Reed. Bryan, tipped across by Boyer, hit back across. Robinson's there. Bryan, middle to Boyer, and Boyer gets the kill.
And with that hard hitting, your back line tends to drop back a couple extra steps because they know it's going to carry, leaving that empty area in the middle.
Yes, that happens a lot. I like to call that campfire defense.
Why is that?
Just falls right in the middle, and everybody stands around and watches. Nice attack there by Carpenter. There's a dig by Lynn. Pushed across, and Bryan can't get to it. And a side out to the Farmers. Back to serve is the libero, Claire Hanlon. I want to tell you that Kaylee Toombs was number 17 in the last match, or last set. Bryan back row attack, and that's what happens when you're really good. You get to hit from the back row, too, and she gets another kill.
Big thanks to Jeff Otto for that name, by the way, the athletic director from Farmington. Also mentioned that she was a sophomore, got called up to dress for the tournament, and good enough to get herself in that first set.
Corin Robinson back in to serve. Abby White takes a seat for the Chargers. I want to thank Jeff Otto for letting us come do some. There's a big hit by Kiefer. Good job by the setter / outside right side hitter. And she gets a kill, and she'll go back to serve. I've got her for 3 kills now. We want to thank Mr. Otto for letting us come over to do some football games. He let us do the sectional last year at Farmington as well, and that was a great sectional last year. Tipped in and across and down. Madeline Boyer is going to get the kill. Quincy, Notre Dame, and Macomb had a classic last year at that sectional.
They have battled in a lot of sports recently.
Kennedy Artman back to serve again, and if they both win tonight, they'll have another battle for a regional championship. And a short serve goes off the hands of Bella Archdale, an ace for the freshman, Kennedy Artman, her third point, first ace. Make that second ace, excuse me. Artman back to serve again. Hanlon of the libero variety. And a hitting error and a follow through into the net for Bella Archdale, and another point for the Chargers. It's 15-10. Artman gets her fourth service point. Was thrown right back across a couple times there. And another into the net as Josie Bryan struggling a little bit from her outside hitting position. She's just maybe getting after it a little bit too much, BJ, and hitting it down and not staying behind the ball or staying in front of the ball. Back serving is Izzy Lynn. And
Josie got way up that time.
Josie Bryan said, "Hey, Hulett, stop talking bad about me." She gets her 11th kill. Josie is legit one of the best players in the area. There's no doubt about it. Madeline Boyer's serve way up. It just eats up the Farmington defender, and it is a point.
You mentioned earlier they don't call much on service anymore, service return, but that in the old days that might have been called too.
Oh, there's no might have been. There's no might have been. It would have been. And there's an ace for Madeline Boyer.
Laid that one right in the spot.
5 service points, second ace.
And of course, I remember when high school volleyball started in my hometown, not with rally scoring, matches would take a while.
Trouble on the serve receive. It's going to be pushed across by Norwal. Out to Bryan.
Bam.
That was a shot, folks. Josie Bryan gets the kill, her 12th, and a timeout, Farmers. It was 10-9 at one point, BJ, and it's 19-11 now.
No, they get 2 timeouts per
Two
set.
timeouts per set.
So this
Actually,
is it.
one set they get 3.
So they can still use one more.
Yeah. So it's 19-11 here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hey, our live chat is open, folks. Hop in there. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. This is just pretty much an added picked-up game that we're probably going to spread over into the area a little bit. So talking to BJ, and I said, hey, why don't you come do a game with me? And this would be a good time for TSSR Game Time Live to kind of get our feet wet over in the Fulton County area a little more. So hop into live chat. Tell us who you're cheering from, where you're watching from. Farmington, Illini West, it doesn't matter. Ned Eckert, I didn't tell him we were going to be on, but he surely has found out we're on. He's my cousin from over around the Durham area. He's a Illini West fan. He surely is watching this one. It's 19-11 right now. Chargers with the lead, and Madeline Boyer back to serve again. She's got 5 service points, including 2 aces and 5 kills tonight.
Ned's probably watching and telling you not to call him Shirley anymore.
Oh, no, he probably likes it. Norwal hit and out.
Just about a foot deep is all that one was.
Ned likes to say, he does some games with me occasionally, and the overpass that goes right to the front row and they get to drive it home, he likes to say that's feeding the bear, and they're hungry. Oh, nice put across. There's an overpass. That's not quite feeding the bear, but there's Reagan Reed. Oh, nice dig for the Farmers, knocked across by Kiefer. Robinson out to Bryan.
Boom.
Bryan says, thank you very much. I'll take another kill. It's 21-11. 13 unofficially for Josie Bryan.
I called that one night out at Spoon River College. I didn't say it on the PA, but just at the scorer's table, I called that a Stanley Burrell. And that's going to take a while to explain, so go ahead and call the next point.
Well, they had to move somebody up off the front row. That's what the delay was there. And Boyer's serve. Dug by Swanson. The attack over on the far side by Mariah Hayden. Free ball going to come across deep corner. Hanlon's there. Kiefer sets middle to Bella Archdale, out to Josie Bryan. It's blocked, dug up by Farrell. Robinson now quick to Reagan Reed. It's dug up. This will be a bump set. Bella Archdale dug up again on the block. Robinson out to Bryan. Tips this one across, and there it is. just when you think you got it figured out.
Yep.
It's another kill for Josie Bryan and another point for Madeline Boyer. She'll go back to serve again with her team up 22-11. Clark Irwin, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Says go Chargers. There's Norwell with the attack. Robinson back sets to Carroll. Audra Carroll going to try. Oh, that came right back to Archdale. They're going to call the lift, and that really was, unfortunately, a lift. But that's one of those you turn around and you're like, holy smokes, the ball's in my face.
That ricocheted in a hurry.
Yes, it did. Audra Carroll, unfortunately, doesn't get a kill for that, even though she really should have. But by specifics, it was touched by more than one person. Carroll's attack dug by Hanlon in the back row. Kiefer, a bump set. Hanlon on the attack, and it bounces over, a kill for the libero, Claire Hanlon.
Farmington trying to stave off elimination here against the second-seeded Chargers, but trailing by 11.
Bella Archdale to service line. Farrell. There's Boyer as the setter I was talking about. Bryan is blocked. Robinson now. Farrell from the back row tried to say, hey, I'm a libero. I could get a kill too. Didn't quite work though. Robinson now out to Boyer. Tips it across. It's dug up. That's second hit. They're going to get it across. Farrell. Robinson. Middle to Reed. Drives it down. Another dig and another job of greatness getting it across for Farmington. Outside it goes to Bryan. And a block, but out of bounds. Unfortunately, off the arms of Mariah Hayden. And such great hustle for the Farmers goes for naught, and it's match point as Josie Bryan gets her 15th kill. And she's going to try to ice it here, and it's an ace. That's how it'll end. Josie Bryan gets her 5th service point, 2nd ace, and it's 25-11 in set number 2. The Chargers will advance to play the winner of Tremont and Peoria Notre Dame. That game will be next on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll take a very quick break and come back with some stats here from Canton High School, IHSA Class 2A Regional Semifinal action.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
And welcome back to Canton High School. Some quick stats. We would have been back 15 seconds earlier, but you had to give homage to Sunshine Ronnie Bass.
Yeah, Sunshine Ronnie Bass, actually living and growing up in Canton, played some flag football with my grandson, and he is a speed demon, Sunshine is. When he gets running full speed, the big long blonde hair just flows behind him like it's a cape.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe he's like the long-haired Superman.
Yeah, we like him. Good kid.
So here's some stats for you. These are unofficial, of course, but we'll do the stats, then we'll take a break and come back with our next stream for the Peoria Notre Dame Tremont game. But unofficially, 1 service point, which was an ace for Madeline Hanlon. Mariah Hayden had a kill. Isabel Norwald had 4 kills. Elena Kiefer had 3 kills. Bella Archdale 2 kills. Paige Stevens, I had her as a kill. I don't think that was probably right since she is a defensive specialist, but might have marked it on the wrong line. Izzy Lynn had 2 service points and a kill. Claire Hanlon had a kill. She was a libero, but she did have an attack late, and Claire Hanlon had 1 service point. For the Chargers, Kennedy Artman had 4 service points, including 2 aces, 2 service points for Kaylin Farrell, 6 kills and 6 service points for Reagan Reed. Included in that was 1 ace. Audra Carroll had 1 kill. Allison Hunter had 2 kills. Josie Bryan, 5 service points, including an ace, which the final was an ace, and 15 kills for Josie Bryan. 2 points, including an ace for Cora Robinson. 9 service points, including 2 aces and 5 kills at Canton. to play the winner of Tremont and Peoria Notre Dame. That game will be coming up in just a little bit here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll take this break to exit. Make sure if you want to watch that one to join us in the next stream. You can find that at Hulett PubliPro LLC's YouTube channel or on our TSSR Game Time Live Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in just a little bit.